in whatever way it seems best to you to please God. Do so. And who shall ever do this? May she be filled with the blessing of God. And I, your little brother Francis, your servant, confirm in you this most holy blessing. And from our sister Claire, may you go forth from the Sacred Heart tranquilly, joyfully, briskly, in that wholeness with which the Spirit of God has and is calling you. Live without fear. Your Creator has made you holy, has always protected you, and loves you like a mother. Go in peace to follow the good road, and may God's blessing be with you always. Amen.
Sponsored by Pellegrino. Find it at your local Wegmans. Okay. Parents, today I am one of the last obstacles to stand in the way of your child graduating. Oh, sweet power. But of course, with great power comes great responsibility. On behalf of the class of 2022, I would like to welcome our esteemed guest speaker, Lauren Bird. And welcome all friends, family, faculty, friends of family, family of friends, friends of faculty, family of faculty, friends of family of faculty, and the people I paid to clap for me. They are what shaped and molded these amazing ladies behind me into wonderful young women. I would first like to thank all the people that make Sacred Heart excellent, to our administration, for the vision you set for our futures, your oversight, and making the tough calls when needed. To our teachers, for giving us an outstanding education and pushing us to do our best, even when we resist learning. To our student council officers and class officers throughout the years, who coordinate all the fun events and are always there to support us. To the maintenance department, who keep the school functioning efficiently and create a beautiful place to come in and learn every day. To the cafeteria staff, who give us a reason to stay in school with the oh-so-delicious hot lunches. The entirety of the class of 2022 thanks you. Not one person behind me would be receiving the diploma today if it weren't for all your love and support. With the opportunity to present a painstakingly long speech, I wanted to argue the reasons why our school should no longer be 4 floors. But I was informed that I wouldn't be receiving my diploma until after the speech, so I decided to take a different route. So, I started to reflect on this enormous achievement. Never have I received such an honor that included the prize of doing an extra homework assignment tangible awards used to fit what I viewed as success. Now, looking back at my experience at Sacred Heart, my favorite part wasn't the grades or the trophies that I chased so eagerly, but I found that what really mattered to me was my cumulative happiness, not my cumulative GPA. What gave me the most joy was the seemingly unnecessary interactions with my classmates and teammates. The memories of laughter, sweat, and tears in the halls of the school made it worth waking up around 6:30 every morning. It wasn't all that long ago that Mr. Liberty was calling us to the steps of Shea one last time to take a picture of us in our college gear. I want you all to imagine that picture broken down to 112 minuscule pieces. The journey of defining ourselves and our experience at Sacred Heart is represented by this puzzle that you just created in your head. Keeping that in mind, let's start with freshman year. That year was the beginning of the puzzle. About 115 or so young girls walked through Sacred Heart's doors with the nervousness and awkwardness of a prepubescent giraffe. However, we were soon able to adjust to this new lifestyle. We were able to memorize where our classrooms were, make new friends, and discover who we are at Shea. We were also able to find out how many times we can roll up our skirts before Miss Egan can give us a duck sheet. How many times we can forget our lanyard before Miss Egan gives us a duck sheet. And how to outrun Miss Egan so that she couldn't give us a duck sheet. We also joined clubs and teams that helped us to develop lifelong friendships. Some of us joined clubs like Mathletes because they sounded cool, and others joined clubs like DECA because they didn't seem like a lot of work. I took DECA my sophomore year. Some of us committed ourselves to sports where we learned the mantra, sharks eat gators. It was also the year where basic grammar, the Mongols, and the realization that you can't avoid PE class shaped our academic experience. By the time freshman year was over, we were able to piece together the cornerstones of sandstone and brick that frame our building. Now, sophomore year was sort of a blur. We walked in with more confidence and with fewer locker decorations. For some of us, it was an opportunity to continue to develop the relationships we made freshman year, and for others, it was a chance to start over. As a class, we became more connected through our overnight retreat. The 2 days of competing at Gaga Ball, conquering the ropes course, and cruising in the pedal boats marked the longest most of us have gone without our cell phones. Speaking of cell phones, TikTok became an essential aspect of our Shea community. During school and after school, we were bonding over dance challenges. You can cover your ears for this next part if it's too cringy for you, but amongst the most popular were dances to Renegade, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion, and Say So by Doja Cat. We'll always remember those. As we were learning these dances, we also learned that the rigorous education that Sacred Heart advertises is actually rigorous. That common phrase that junior year is supposed to be the only hard year didn't exactly apply to Shea. However, we learned quickly that these challenging courses were the best way to make friends. The comfort of knowing that we're all struggling together prospered so many of the friendships we still have today. Despite the course load, our class never let the countless hours of schoolwork throw down the party of life. We learned that there was room to have fun inside the classroom, like doodling funny pictures of Dr. Kroll. Thank you, Amanda, Ellie, and others who contributed to that Google Doc. Or having inside jokes with Miss Hoke. May she rest in peace. We don't find her anymore. Then March 13th hit, and our 2-week vacation turned into Zooming for the rest of the school year. There were bad parts, such as staring at a screen for 6 hours, not being able to physically see each other, and the awkwardness of no one unmuting their microphone to answer the teacher's question. But there were also some good parts, like the lack of tests, not having class because the teacher forgot to open the Zoom meeting, and waking up at 8 a.m. instead of the usual 6 or 7. Yet, through perseverance and a whole lot of caffeine, we somehow got through it. Again, we solved more of the puzzle. This time, we were able to put together the rest of the brick building, including the windows and the front door, but there was still so much more to go. Junior year was a whole new experience as we attempted to navigate our in-person education during COVID. We became upperclassmen and leaders, but we also quickly learned that life gets much tougher from here. We started to get bombarded with questions about where we want to go to college and what we want to do with the rest of our lives, which added to our already stressful course load. Along with procrastinating on homework, we also procrastinated on studying for the SAT or ACT. It's a good thing we still have that test optional policy. On the bright side, our teachers became turn the prayer at the beginning of our classes into a venting session. However, like the last 2 years, we always found a way to have fun. This was the year most of us passed our driver's test, then begged our parents for a car, then proceeded to give that car a name. I will personally miss the legend that was the Granny Van. Some of us failed our driver's test, but thankfully we're able to retake it the following week. Crazy how one can become a better driver in a span of 1 week. Nonetheless, we all drove in blasting any song from Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift, her version of course, right up until the bell rang at 8 a.m. With the all-girls environment in isolation due to COVID, it was strange how passionately we shouted the lyrics, fully knowing that most of us have either not been in a relationship or not suffered from a breakup of that calamity. This is also the year we amped up our Spirit Week game. With extreme dedication and determination, we won Spirit Week. However, we lost the Spirit Week dance in what I believe to be the most rigged competition in Sacred Heart history. By the end of this hectic year, our puzzle became more clear. We were able to get most of our heads and limbs in the right spots. The only part that's left was our shirt or sweatshirt that indicates the next chapter of our lives. Senior year was suddenly upon us. Some of us tried to have as many study halls as possible, while others continued to up their course of Emma. As we desperately waited for the fun stuff at the end of the year, like prom and Spirit Week, we sat through Mrs. Mott's quote-unquote fun labs and never-ending calculus or stats problems. Our senioritis kicked in, and we no longer had to filter with our teachers. This contributed to what happens in calc stays in calc and teacher first, friend second rules. But there was still a large part of the puzzle we needed to solve: college applications. For those who have never gone through the process, picture this. You download a dating app trying to find your perfect match. You scroll through countless pictures and you think you found the one. He's taller than you, has great hair, and doesn't have a picture holding a fish. You decide you want to click the like button, hoping they will like you back. You start to question yourself. Are you good enough? Will they like me? Is it too late to go back? They get back to you in about 4 or 5 months, and they reject you. But guess what? You liked a bunch of backup men just in case, and one of them works out in the end. After that process was over, life got much better. The mask mandate was lifted, J Pause was added, and hot lunches came back. But wait, there's more. We won Spirit Week and the Spirit Week dance. We had food trucks and a slip and slide for our last day of classes. We got to camp outside of our school for a night. We had a normal prom experience. All of these memories will leave me smiling all summer long, or at least until the nerves of college kick in. At this point, we completed the puzzle of the class of 2022. With all these amazing memories in mind, I would like to leave you all with one important message. These should not be the best 4 years of your life. If writing an essay in 40 minutes and taking the SAT or ACT are the best years of your life, you've done something wrong. In all seriousness, I want you all to continue to make great memories, especially with the opportunity to actually leave your campus and experience the world. The speech was approved. This class has already endured and gone through so much with continuing our education during COVID, making us one of the strongest classes in Sacred Heart history. However, now you are part of a much larger puzzle and will have to face new challenges. Especially in light of the events in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas, it has become evident that it's up to our generation to confront issues plaguing our country and our world today. Now, there are a lot of things that we will forget about high school. I've already forgotten most of what I read in AP Lang class, but one thing stuck with me. In some reading by some man that I cannot remember, Dr. Zalek probably knows, he said, "The epidemic of our time is indifference." I would like to acknowledge all the phenomenal hearts and minds of my classmates who have dedicated their time and money to causes that will heal and benefit our community. My hope is that you all continue to spread love and positivity to combat the injustices, inequality, and hatred in this world. Whether you are staying local or like me, traveling out of the country, Sacred Heart's community has given you the tools to make a difference. Looking ahead into the future, it would be cliche advice to just say follow your dreams. To be honest, your dreams are going to change. So don't get caught up in what you envision your puzzle to be right now. Just try to put one piece together at a time. To my fellow graduates, I wish you all the happiness and success in whatever way you define it in the world. Congratulations, class of 2022.